Rikki-Tikki-Tavi made the mongoose famous as a small Indian cobra killer. Welcome back to Planet Earth. Ask most people what a mongoose is, and the file is thin. Kipling, courage, snakes, maybe a rumor that venom cannot touch them. Add a few imported island populations brought in to chase rats and snakes, a flash of fur in a zoo enclosure, and the usual mix-up with martens or weasels. That is the public portrait. Quick, brave, snake-obsessed. But the animal behind it is stranger and broader than that. So let's pull the label apart. Do mongooses really shrug off venom? Do they all belong in India? And what does a mongoose eat when there is no cobra in sight? First correction. A mongoose is not a mustelid. Martens, weasels, ferrets, badgers, otters and wolverines sit on the dog-like branch of carnivorans, the caniforms. Mongooses are feliforms. On the family tree, they stand closer to cats, hyenas and viverrids than to a badger or a weasel. The confusion comes from the body plan. Long body, short legs, a pointed muzzle, a flexible little hunter that slips through grass and scrub. Different lineages can arrive at the same solution when the same job needs doing. Biologists call that convergent evolution. Useful shapes can reappear in unrelated animals. The mongoose story opens in Africa, roughly 20 to 25 million years ago. The early players were small, secretive carnivores, picking their way through forests and savannas. They did not build their future on sprinting, and they did not turn into specialist climbers. Their advantage was a fast reaction and a body ready to dart. From Africa, mongooses pushed into Asia. They reached the southern edge of Europe as well, in Spain and Portugal. The Americas were different. Mongooses did not cross there under their own power. People carried them, and people carried them to islands too. We will come back to that. For a long time, biologists kept mongooses in a messy drawer with viverrids, tropical carnivores such as civets and genets, and even the Madagascar fossa, Cryptoprocta ferox, a predator lemurs have reason to fear. Then the evidence got tighter. Skulls, teeth, and finally, genetic code. The verdict changed. Mongooses were their own line. By the early 21st century, the family had its modern shape. About 34 mongoose species. At one end is the tiny dwarf mongoose, Helogale parvula, lighter than half a kilogram. At the other is the white-tailed mongoose, Ichneumia albicauda, which can stretch to nearly a meter. Inside that family, two ways of life dominate. The first is the solitary route. These are the classic mongooses that live alone, or sometimes as pairs. The headline names are the Indian grey mongoose, Herpestes edwardsii, the animal behind Rikki-Tikki-Tavi, and the Egyptian ichneumon, Herpestes ichneumon, respected as far back as ancient Egypt. Add the marsh mongoose, Atalax paludinosus, another loner that will eat crabs and frogs without fuss. These species do not run a neighborhood club. Each animal keeps space around itself, because a private hunting patch means fewer fights over food. The female raises the young alone. A male may appear briefly, but often he is gone completely. Boundaries are written in scent from glands. The owner patrols them, refreshes them, and drives off intruders of its own kind. When two adults meet outside breeding, the script is short. One attacks, or one leaves. That distance is not moodiness, it is resource management. By spreading out, solitary mongooses cut down competition inside the same range. Adult contact stays close to zero. Males and females cross paths for breeding, and the partnership lasts only as long as reproduction requires. Once the season is over, both animals return to solitary routines. The future litter is the female's job. The male contributes neither den work, nor defense, nor food for the young. For these loners, family life is brief, practical, and then finished. The mother chooses the nursery herself, an abandoned rodent burrow, a crack in a rock, or the hollow of a fallen tree. Inside it, the pups start blind and helpless, living on milk while she does all the work. Then the lessons begin. In solitary species, childhood does not drag on. The young must learn fast reactions, where to find insects, how to handle rodents, and what to do when the target is a snake. As soon as they can feed themselves and have the basic survival skills, the mother's investment stops. The grown youngsters leave the natal patch for good. They scatter through savanna and forest, each starting the same hard, independent career, a lone hunter with no backup. Then the mongoose story flips. The second camp is social, and it runs on cooperation. These mongooses live in family groups of 10 to 30 animals, sometimes as many as 40. A single group may use one burrow, defend one territory, and treat the pups as a shared responsibility. Hunting becomes group work, so do defense and childcare. When a female gives birth, other members carry food to her and to the pups. Females with no litter of their own still help feed the babies. In this version of mongoose life, survival is not guarded by distance. It is built by the group. The celebrity of the mongoose clan is the meerkat. Yes, that meerkat. It is a mongoose too, and its alarm system is no toy. Scientists have counted up to 15 different calls. One warns of an eagle overhead. Another means jackal, danger on the ground. A snake call sends the whole group upright, scanning the dust around their feet. Then there is the little all clear note, the sound that says, relax, spread out again. The same branch includes banded mongooses, dwarf mongooses, and kusimansis. Built for quick decisions, an adult mongoose is rarely longer than 50 to 60 centimeters, with a tail nearly as long again. Most weigh under 4 kilograms. In the savanna scrub, a mongoose is often only a fast shadow, a low body on short legs, with a long tail skimming close to the soil. If it stops, it rises on the hind legs and turns its head, testing the air and listening to the sounds around it. Then it fires forward. A lizard kicks in its jaws, or a heavy beetle disappears. The coat is coarse and packed tight, usually gray or brown. Many species carry faint speckles that break up the body in bush shade. The belly is paler, sometimes reddish. On the banded mongoose, dark and light bars cross the back, a pocket-sized zebra pattern. The face narrows into a sharp, stretched muzzle. The ears are small, rounded, and set low, so branches are less likely to catch them, and the animal is less likely to give itself away. The eyes are dark and glossy. Depending on the species, the pupil may be round or horizontal. That stare is not dreamy. It is locked on, wary, the look of a hunter ready to bite or bolt. The legs are short, but they are not weak. Each foot carries long claws that do not retract. A mongoose does not work the trees like a squirrel or spring from branch to branch. It digs and it rips things open. Rotten wood, a rodent burrow, a termite mound. Those claws can open them in seconds. Behind it trails a long, muscular tail, not gripping and not especially fluffy, more like a whip. In a chase, it helps the mongoose cut hard to one side. In a snake fight, it can pull the snake's attention away from the head. Now, the snake story needs a correction. People love the cartoon version, a mongoose trotting through the jungle and cracking cobras like sunflower seeds. They also say it is born immune, that venom simply does nothing. The truth is narrower and much more useful. Mongooses do have partial resistance to the venom of some snakes. Over millions of years, their acetylcholine receptors changed shape. Those are the proteins targeted by snake neurotoxins. The toxin can still bind, but it does not shut the system down completely. So the mongoose may survive the bite, yet it can be in real trouble. It can lose coordination, go weak, and with a big snake or a heavy dose, it can die. There is no absolute immunity. A small mongoose can be killed by a medium cobra if the bite lands cleanly and the snake delivers a full dose. That is why the mongoose does not charge straight in. It dances through the fight. It circles the cobra, arches its back, hops in close, then snaps away. Each strike burns the snake's energy, while the mongoose escapes by a split second. It waits for the pauses, for the cobra to slow. Then comes the only move that matters. The mongoose lunges at the back of the head and bites into the skull. Fight over. Some mongooses, including banded mongooses, take snakes on together. One distracts. Others move in from the side and behind. Safer, but snakes are still not a menu staple. Most days, a mongoose hunts smaller, safer food. Its menu includes beetles, locusts, grasshoppers and larvae, mice, voles and rats, lizards, frogs, earthworms and mollusks, and sometimes fruit and roots. It works through its range like a little ground-level vacuum, eating almost anything that moves and fits in its mouth. Rats are handled as cleanly as a cat would handle them. Insects vanish in huge numbers. On sugarcane plantations, that makes the mongoose a farmer's ally, unless the farmer keeps chickens. A snake is a gamble. A mouse or a beetle is lunch with much better odds. Eggs are even better. They do not bite. The problem is the shell. So the mongoose uses a simple trick. It finds a stone or another hard surface, grips the egg with its forepaws, rises on its hind legs, and throws. If the shell holds, it throws again until it cracks. Mongooses are quick learners, and some are sharper than their size suggests. The mirror story needs care. In experiments with banded mongooses, some animals did not treat the reflection like a stranger. They sniffed it, examined it, and flicked the tail. That shows interest in the reflection, not proof of self-awareness. Their housekeeping is less debatable. Around the den, there are no food scraps and no scatter of bones. For a toilet, they dig separate pits away from the sleeping site. When one fills, they cover it and dig another. So yes, this is the cobra fighter, clever and hard to hit. But even this animal has enemies that make it keep looking over its shoulder. First, danger comes from above. For the smaller species, birds of prey are the worst problem. Eagles, hawks, and big owls can pick out a mongoose from a kilometer away. If it pauses in the open and fails to dive into a burrow or under a bush, the talons arrive before speed can help. Dwarf mongooses and meerkats pay for this most often, especially out in savanna country, where cover is thin. That is why meerkats post sentries. The one standing upright is not mainly watching for snakes, it is watching the sky. The ground is crowded too. Jackals hunt them. Larger mongooses can kill smaller ones if the size gap is big enough. Leopards take them, and in Asia, tigers and other big cats do the same. A mongoose is small and soft enough to be worth the trouble if caught. An adult will bite and twist, raking with its claws. Against a leopard, that usually changes very little. A python does not need venom to kill a mongoose. It coils around the mongoose, tightens, and the famous reflexes stop mattering. Partial resistance to snake venom is useless when the weapon is pressure. If a mongoose ends up inside those coils, the fight is over. A large cobra can also end it, if the bite lands clean and deep. But the mongoose story is not all enemies. It also has friends, big ones, with tusks and warts. The warthog, Phacochirus africanus, yes, the Lion King celebrity. In real life though, the partner is not Timon the meerkat, even if meerkats are relatives. It is the banded mongoose, Mungo's Mungo, and the friendship is pure business. Somewhere in the savannah of Uganda or Kenya, a warthog walks through the grass, armed with tusks and attitude. Its problem is smaller than a fang, but constant: ticks and other parasites. The warthog cannot reach them all. That stiff snout cannot turn far enough. So when the warthog finds a troop of banded mongooses, it drops. It flops onto the ground and lets the crew get to work. For the mongooses, this is lunch served on a breathing table. They scramble over the warthog, noses down, checking the folds of thick skin. Ticks, fleas, any bloodsucker they can reach, they pick off and eat. The warthog gets a free cleaning and loses parasites it cannot remove alone. The mongoose gets a protein meal that did not have to be chased through the bushes. The warthog walked up, lay down, and presented the buffet. Nobody needs to negotiate. Warthogs that use these cleaners know the deal, and the mongooses know exactly where to search. Dwarf mongooses make another partnership work on the savanna floor. Hornbills. The mongoose troop digs, rustles through dry grass, and tears into termite mounds. Grasshoppers, beetles, lizards, all the small panicked things burst out of cover. The hornbill takes advantage and snatches what the digging has flushed into the open. The payment goes the other way. While the mongooses feed with their noses buried low, the hornbill watches from a tree or a tall bush. Its eyesight buys time. It spots an eagle, a jackal, or a large snake before the foragers do, then throws out a sharp alarm call. The troop hears it and vanishes into burrows or under shrubs. That trade is brutally simple. The mongoose flushes food. The hornbill stands guard. In the savanna, the arrangement works well enough that the two are often found together. Where these mongooses forage, hornbills are often close. But after wild enemies and wild allies, the most dangerous opponent is the civilized one. People threaten mongooses not only by hunting them for meat or fur, though that happens in parts of Asia and Africa. The bigger damage is habitat loss. Forests are cut, savannas are plowed. Roads slice through the places mongooses use. Many are killed under wheels because a dash across open ground is not always fast enough. Then come pesticides on fields, shooting around poultry farms where mongooses steal chickens, disease, competition, and shortages of familiar food. Still, in some places, people treat them with real respect. In India, mongooses are not worshipped, but they are welcome near houses. They catch rats and drive snakes away. The Indian grey mongoose, Herpestes edwardsii, is a living patrol for a yard or farm. Many farmers leave nearby mongooses alone, and Kipling's Rikki-Tikki-Tavi probably helps the image. Brave, stubborn, defender of the weak. The real mongoose, though, is not out looking for trouble. Humans, however, once fell hard for that pest control idea. Farmers carried mongooses to Caribbean islands, to Hawaii, to Fiji, and to Okinawa. The plan was pest control. On sugar plantations, rats ruined crops, and snakes bit workers. The reasoning sounded clean enough. A mongoose hunts rodents and snakes, so release mongooses and let them fix it. The real world refused to cooperate. Rats are active at night. Mongooses hunt by day. So the two enemies often missed each other on the clock, and the rat problem barely moved. The celebrated little hunter had arrived, but the job it was hired for was still waiting in the dark. Mongooses did not solve the snake problem either. Against a cobra, a mongoose could sometimes make the old routine work. Circle, dodge, wear the snake down, take the risk, and win. Ambush snakes were another matter. Lanceheads and other pit vipers do not play along. They strike suddenly, strike fast, and give little warning. Mongooses used to cobra attacks were badly outmatched, so the island snakes kept causing the very trouble people wanted stopped. The mongoose turned instead to prey that was easy to reach, birds nesting on the ground, lizards, frogs, and small domestic animals such as chicks, ducklings, and rabbits. There it did very well. Too well for everyone else. The imported savior became an unwanted foreigner. First, people brought mongooses in with honors, cast as rescuers. Then came poison, shooting, and traps. That is the ugly twist, and it was not the mongoose that wrote it. A mongoose did what mongooses do. It hunted, found food, and raised young. It signed no bargain with farmers. It made no promises. It certainly never asked to be shipped onto those islands. People brought it in, so it stayed. People miscalculated, and the mongoose paid while trying to fit into a new place. In its own range, across Africa, Asia, and southern Europe, the same habits fit the machinery around them. Mongooses keep rodents in check, stop insects from booming, and sometimes fight snakes. They are small parts of an ecosystem, but important ones. Pull that part out and screw it into another machine, and things often break. That is because the mongoose is built for options. It lives in savanna, tropical forest, mountains, and the edge of desert. It eats whatever it can find: beetles, bird eggs, mice, even venomous snakes. It digs burrows, climbs over rocks, and runs over the ground like a pocket rocket. A generalist. That is the mongoose's real weapon. We praise lions for muscle, wolves for the pack, cheetahs for speed. The mongoose wins in a less glamorous way. It is small, quick, opportunistic, and very hard to pin down. In the right habitat, that combination works beautifully. So yes, mongooses are a messy family, built in many shapes and rarely sitting still. They fight snakes, pick off parasites, hunt pests, and when humans move them carelessly, become ecological troublemakers. This is planet Earth.